Okay, welcome to this month's parenting clinic. I am Anisa Lewis. I'm a positive parenting coach, but I am also a mother to a wonderful, neurodiverse and very spicy 17-year-old who I love dearly. And my background, for those of you who don't know me, is teaching and education. So I was a deputy head and head of operations for years in fact, down at a school in Surbiton. So there is somebody on the call today who lives quite close to where I used to live. And I got to the point where my next step would have been headship, and I did some soul searching and decided actually I wanted to help make a difference in parenting, in parents' lives and also the lives of children. And there's only so far you can go within a school setting in order to help and assist, because ultimately you are there to educate the children in your care and ensure that their needs are met in whatever they might be. So anyway, here I am, 9 years on, living in the north of Yorkshire. And I am here to talk to you about parent wellbeing today, when you're talked and touched out. I think what I want to start with, again, if you've been to my clinics before, you will know that I like to pack my clinics full of tools and ideas and things that you can take away. I also like to get to the end of the clinic and I like to ask you, what is your one takeaway? And if possible, find a post-it note and write it down, and we're going to put that somewhere so that you can remember it throughout December. So today is about normalizing, well, not normalizing, but trying to get rid of some of that guilt that you might be feeling, especially at this time of year when it is busy, when emotions are running high, when everything is just a little bit overwhelming. And you know, there's a reason why it's overwhelming. Because it is. If you're anything like me, you've got your normal head clutter mixed with your child's head clutter, mixed with this time of year clutter, mixed with my work clutter, and it's all buzzing around in my brain. And that is a lot to take on board, a lot to carry, and it's a lot for any human being. And if we go back years, you would have had a village around you to help you. You would have had your moral support, but yet now we're finding more and more that we're carrying this mental load. We're carrying the load of our lives without the support structure in place. And it is overwhelming. And it can bring on emotional fatigue. I think that's quite a nice word, emotional fatigue. And it's not okay, but it is normal. But it's how normal it is for you. And if this normal is becoming you buried underneath life's commitments and caring for your family, then that's not okay. And we need to get you some help, whether that is going to your GP, whether that's reaching out to me and having a quick chat, whatever it is that you need, or even just joining an exercise class, because that lights you up and gets the endorphins going. Whatever it is, it's okay to not be okay. So today, very much for me, is about giving you a bit of a breather. This is not to add to your things to do list. This is not to bury you under more things that you have to do. It is for you to just say, let's just take a breath. And in fact, we're going to do that now. And I just want you to take a breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And try and make the out breath longer than the in breath. What we want to do is we want to get the breathing from your chest back down into your belly, because that is really, really calming. So we're just going to do that again. So in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now don't do it too many times, maybe 3 or 4 times, because we don't want you to hyperventilate. Not that you would hyperventilate if you are doing it properly. Okay, so what I will also say to you is your brain is an amazing organ in your head, but it will believe what you tell it. So right now, if you are telling it that you're stressed, if you're overwhelmed, you're not sleeping properly, whatever it is that is the message that you're telling your brain thinks it's being really, really helpful by going, oh, I'm going to help them prove that belief or prove that point. So then it will look for all of the evidence why you are overwhelmed, why you're not sleeping properly, why you're stressed, why da 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 da. And then it thinks it's being helpful by giving you the evidence. All you are thinking is, oh my goodness me, I'm drowning. I'm drowning in what's going on. I'm drowning in the environment. I'm drowning in my child's love. I'm just drowning in it all. So what can you tell your brain that is slightly different? I love the power of yet. So I'm not where I want to be yet. I need to get in charge, and that probably doesn't work with that one. I need to help my emotions, and I'm going to get there, but I'm not there yet. So how can we use this word yet to sort of trick our brain? Or can you simply tell your brain that you're feeling calmer or you're feeling okay? So I'll give an example from my life last week. It might have been the week before. Anyway, no, what date are we? The 8th. So probably the week before. I got a message from one of my dearest friends in the whole wide world. And she sent me a message purely innocently. So she sent me a message saying, I've done all of my shopping for Christmas. I'm done. I've bought all my gifts. And oh my goodness, was I triggered. I was like, I'm stressed and I haven't done my gifts and I'm running out of time and and all of these things kept coming flying at me because my brain was looking for the evidence that I was behind, that I wasn't ready, that I wasn't where I wanted to be. And so I took a breath. I brought myself back to the present moment. I gave my brain the message that actually I did have time and I was going to get it all sorted, and nobody else had the timeline in my head except me, which means I could change the timeline. And I came back to the moment. And oh my goodness, and I breathed. I did take some very deep breaths. And I did go back to my friend and say, that's it, we're divorced. We're never, in a very jokey way, we're never going to talk again. Send me positive vibes to get through everything that I need to, which she did, and it did help. And actually, having given myself, my brain, a different message, come the weekend, a pocket of time magically appeared, which I hadn't been anticipating. And I sat down in my sofa office and I got the Christmas shopping done. So I think tell your brain something different. Tell your brain what you want it to believe, what you where you want to be, I guess, is, let's set you up for success. Where do you want to be, and tell your brain that. Okay, so what I think is also good is it's not good at all, is for us to reflect on what is the real cost of parents running on empty. If you feel you want to share in the chat box, great. If you're listening to this on replay and want to share with me, feel free to email me at hello@anisalewis.com and share some of your thoughts. But what is the real cost of parents running on empty? Think about your own day when you're running, when your tank is gone, your cup is empty, and you're probably more shouty. You're probably got shorter fuse. You probably feel overwhelmed. Someone here has just said they're less patient. They're more snappy. They feel awful. And then that's when the guilt comes in. So you're absolutely right. You running on empty is actually not a good place to be. So let's have a think about what we can do to help and support that, which is what you're here for today. And I want you to think about your priorities. So when you think about priorities of your life, and we're going to create a three-legged stool for your families to sit on. And those three legs of this stool are going to be your partner, if you are in a relationship, but it could be family members. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Another leg is going to be you, and another leg is going to be your children. How would you prioritize those legs, those things? Most parents that I talk to would prioritize children, partner, themselves. I don't know if that rings true for you. If it does, give me an emoji. If it doesn't, then you tell me what you feel the right, and there is no right, absolutely no right in the ordering things. Well, actually, no, there is a right in the ordering things, but there's no right or wrong way to answer this with what's going on for your family. So what I would like you to do actually is to rejig it and put yourself top. Because actually, if you have given yourself some self-care, if you've given yourself some compassion, if you have given yourself some rest, if you've given yourself a chance to go out for a run, whatever it is, you are going to be parenting from a different place. If you and your partner, or whoever you do the closest relationship to partnering your children with, if you're prioritizing time together, time to talk, connection time, you are going to be in a better place for when you then come and parent your children. Your children will benefit from all of those. And it is interchangeable, and there are going to be times when things have to take priority, like at this time of year. If you don't get the presents, if you don't attend the nativity, if you don't turn up to a parents' evening, all of those things are going to have a knock on. So I do get that sometimes that stool, which we want to kind of be in balance, is going to be a bit wonky. But the key thing is pour into yourself first so you can then give back to others. So Have a think about that. Self-care and compassion is really, really important. It's okay for you to role model to your children. You know what? Today's been really, really overwhelming, and I just need to have a pause. Today's been overwhelming, and actually, my priority is having a snuggle on the sofa with you. Today's been overwhelming. I am going to go to bed early. All of those things are okay. So it's how you can keep your three-legged stool more balanced. That is our aim. What I would always say to you is quality time over quantity time is more important with family members. So your kids, your partner, how can you make the quality of you being more mindfully present a priority rather than being there and being what I call transactional relationship, where you're like, get your shoes, do this, go and pick up that my child from this. Those transactional things are not quality time. And research says that it's 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day is enough to rebalance relationships of quality time with your family members. So everybody's got 10 minutes. I would, again, I'm not in your family. I don't know what is going on for you, but I am pretty sure that you can get 10 minutes out of your day to connect with your child or to connect with yourself or to connect with your partner or a family member. I think also we need to be thinking about when it comes to parenting well-being is your expectations. Are you setting unrealistic expectations for what you can achieve in a day, what you can achieve in a week, what you can achieve over this month or moving into the new year? What are your expectations? Because if your expectations are unrealistic, you've already set yourself up for failure. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about setting you up for success. So how can we set you up for success? So let's look at the 3 B's: boundaries, bandwidth, and balance. So I think we've talked a little bit about balance in the fact that actually you do need to prioritize yourself in order to be able to give back to others. Balance is about doing something for others, but also doing something that fills yourself up. Boundaries, I think, especially at this time of year, we try and cram so much into our diaries. And actually, your kids are tired. You're tired. Everybody's running on fumes. And yet we suddenly think that this is the time to say yes to every single social engagement out there. If that works for you and your family, crack on. If it doesn't, let's put some boundaries in place. By just because Saturday afternoon happens to be free and you've prioritized maybe putting up the Christmas tree or hanging out with your kids and watching Christmas movies, and then someone comes in and says, oh, can we do this? And you look at your diary and think, well, technically we're not doing anything. Actually, you are. You are busy. And no can be a complete sentence. No, thank you for the invitation. We've already got something on. You don't have to go into any more detail. You've already got something on. That is enough. But how can you build in pockets? Perhaps even across the Christmas holidays, how can you build in pockets of time or slower days where everybody can recharge their batteries, you included? Bandwidth. I think this is a really important one, which we don't really talk much about, but it's about what do you have the capacity to manage right now? With all the balancing and the juggling and everything else that's going on, what is your bandwidth? What are your boundaries? What are you willing to say yes to? What are you happy to say no to? So my bandwidth right now is, in order for me to get to Christmas, I don't go out in the evenings. Sad life of mine. And this was put to the test right after I made that absolutely earth-shattering decision that I wasn't going out in the evenings in the lead up to Christmas. And because I knew my bandwidth, because I knew my boundaries, I said no without guilt. I did not feel guilty about it. And actually, the engagement has been rescheduled and we're going to do it another time and we're all going to really, really enjoy it. But that was because I had my 3 B's in place and I knew what I was willing to stretch and to nudge and what I was going to keep really secure and safe for me personally to get through to Christmas. So have a think about those 3 B's: boundaries, bandwidth, and balance. Are they out of whack right now for you and your family? Or are you thinking, oh, actually, I'm in a really good place? I can't answer that, but have a think about it. Okay, I'm just going to give you some quick tips now to put into your toolkit of things that you can bring out at different moments in order to help you over the coming weeks, to help with your well-being, to help with your bandwidth. I love that word. Just one moment. So, what can you do to reset your nervous system? I think because when we are triggered, when like I was a week and a bit ago, that's our nervous system giving us signs that we're not okay and we need to pause and we need to prioritize ourselves. So that breathing technique where we breathe in through our nose and we breathe out through our mouth is a lovely one to ground us. It just brings us back because the other thing I really love about the breath is you're never going to stop breathing, hopefully, in the next few weeks anyway. And it's something that you always have with you. So it's not like a tool or a technique or something that you have to have in your pocket. You're always going to have your breathing, but you can control how you breathe. I think another really lovely one to help your nervous system is to name how you are feeling, even in front of your kids. Right now, I'm feeling touched out. It's not because I don't love you. I do love you. I just need my own space. Give me 5 minutes and then I can come back. But the I feel statements are quite powerful. I feel because, and what do I need to do about that? And that's actually something that you can role model to your children in order for them to identify how they're feeling and how perhaps they need your support or perhaps they need some space. Whatever it is, those I statements are fabulous. Own it. Because when we're owning it, we're also saying to our children that it's okay to feel the many different emotions that we feel in a day. Our emotions are like the weather. I woke up really tired this morning. I'm not feeling really tired now because I know that that cloud has moved on and the sun is now out and I'm feeling much better because I've just got on with my day and I kept moving. So have a think about your emotions as like the weather. Okay, where can you build into your day some energy boosters? Whether it's simply taking a mindful moment while you're boiling the kettle, whether you are going to just go, okay, when that kettle's boiling, I'm just going to take some deep breaths, or I'm going to bring myself back to the present moment and name 3 things that I can see in the kitchen. I'm just going to stand here and look out the window while the kettle's boiling because actually I like looking out at nature and that's very calming for me. Build something into your day that gives you a bit of a boost. I would say if you can build into your day at some point, going outside and breathing in some fresh air, whether it's standing on your balcony, whether it's going out into the garden, whether it's walking the kids to school when you would normally get in the car, whatever it is, build a moment into your day where you can get outside, see nature, and breathe in some fresh air. I would also like you to look for the tiny joys in the day. I think people call them glimmers. You can call them being grateful. You can call them gladness moments. But you know what is bringing joy? I was rushing to the train station the other morning for something I was doing, and a tree attacked me. I wasn't paying any attention whatsoever. And a twig came out of nowhere and attacked me. And I could have got really cross. And in that moment, I was like, actually, it's going to be a joy moment. Thank you, tree, for attacking me. Thank you for fixing that part of my hair that obviously needed some attention. Thank you for waking me up so I actually didn't walk into the entire tree. You know, I could have seen it as the tree was attacking me, but I didn't. I actually took it as a joyful moment that actually made me giggle in the end because I was like, oh, come on, Anisa, pay a bit more attention. So where can you find those moments in your day that either make you smile, make you smirk, or simply you reframe a thought so that you feel better about it? Okay, connection moments. I think, again, we sort of mentioned in the chat earlier on, but connection moments are usually the first things to go when we feel overwhelmed. Maybe it is because we are being touched too much and because our kids need us a bit more, or maybe it's because our brain is just full. But it's where could you perhaps build in something that I like to call a family reset ritual. Now, this is going to look different for every family. It might be that regardless of how everyone's feeling, you come in for a hug. It might be that your reset ritual is actually to disperse and go to all corners of your house. It might be that you bring everybody together for a hot chocolate and a cookie. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's something in your house that you say, okay, I recognize that we're all walking on eggshells. I recognize that that situation didn't quite go to plan. Let's just reset. And maybe you need a code word that leads to the reset. I don't know. But just something that resets the moment for you. Notice the calm in your house when it comes and actually comment on it. It's such a strange thing to comment on the calm with your kids or your partner. And you're actually like, wow, I really appreciated that silent moment, or I really appreciated whatever it is that you noticed that was calm or connection in your house. Comment on it, praise it, acknowledge it, um, and take some rest. Do you need 5 minutes of just drinking your drink when it's hot? Do you need to sit in your car for 10 minutes before you come in to pick up your kids from after school club because actually you just need a breath to transition you from different moments that you're having? It's okay to build in what I call these warm moments, which then help you to connect with your kids better because you have prioritized yourself. I think boundaries are also an act of self-care, and we quite often put in boundaries when our kids are being silly. But actually, you could just put a boundary in, for example, when they're pestering you to get your attention, and you're like, I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge you're there. I need to finish what I'm doing so that I can give you my attention. 5 minutes, and I'll come back to you. That's a boundary. You've told them where you're at, you've told them when you're going to connect with them, and you've told them why you need to do what you're needing to do. Put it together. That is a healthy boundary that if your children then push against, you can go, I've given you the boundary. I needed to finish what I'm doing. I needed 5 more minutes. You have a choice now. You're delaying that 5 minutes, which means I'm not going to connect with you until later, or you can just give me my 5 minutes and then you'll get my undivided attention. But right now, you're not having my undivided attention because I'm still thinking about what else I have to be doing, and therefore, no one is benefiting from this situation. Again, that really does depend on the child's age, the child's ability, and all that kind of stuff. So you will have to gauge that for your family. Um, the other thing, I'm rushing towards the end here, so I just want to get in a few sort of well-being rituals, which you may well have in place already. But could you do something, a 5 minute thing in the morning that's just for you? Whether you get up a little bit earlier so you can sit and just breathe quietly and think about your day before the world onslaughts you, whether it is your ritual is you get up, you have a shower, you clean yourself, and then you start your day. It could be that you get up and you do some journaling. It could be you get up and do some meditation. It could be you get up and walk around the block before you can face your day. But what's something that you can bring in that just anchors you, grounds you, and helps you prepare for the day ahead? I quite like a brain dump where you set a 5 minute timer, you get a notebook, you get a piece of paper. The writing process is quite important because it's taking it from your brain down your arm and getting it out. And you just write as a stream of consciousness for 5 minutes. It could be a list, it could be poetic, it could be a story, it could be the scribbles of an insane parent. Whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. It's getting it out of your head and onto a piece of paper. Now you can go back and look at that piece of paper, or you can just go, actually, I've dumped my thoughts, and if they're important, they'll come back to me. I love a good brain dump. Can you do something in the evening? Again, that helps you release the day, whether that is a meditation, where I've got one of those acupressure mats, which I lie on, and it just recalibrates me a little bit. You have to have a bit thick skin for that one, so maybe that one's not to build into your ritual, but it's something that I build into mine because it just helps me transition from the day I've had to my sleep. But what is it that you could do? In fact, I was talking to my teen this morning about how she didn't last night. She does sort of like a reset of her room so that when she wakes up in the morning, she feels ready to start her day because everything's where it should be. And in fact, she didn't do it last night, and she felt discombobulated this morning as a routine, as a moving forward. And so actually she then had to recalibrate her day by resetting her room before she could then move on, because it just helped put her in a better frame of mind for her day ahead. That might be something that you need to do. I think well-being routine, we've spoken about getting outside, but the more you can get outside, even in the colder, more miserable weather, the better you're going to feel. And it might be something that you carry in your pocket, like a pocket pebble or a crystal or a stick or a particular toy, or you have a bracelet that when you look at it, you just think, oh, that's my cue to take a breath. That's my cue to drink my coffee in peace. Whatever it is, it's an anchor that spurs you on to do what you need to do in order to put your well-being first. Okay, I have talked like the clappers, and I hope that lots and lots of you just wanted some tools, some techniques, some ideas to fill up that toolkit. And I hope that I have given you those, as well as feeling perhaps a little bit lighter and a little bit empowered, maybe, to do something a little bit different or to do something just for you. So in the chat box, tell me, or if you're listening to the replay, send me an email. What is one tiny habit that you're going to commit to? And I'm only asking you to commit to one. If you want to try and do more, super. My commitment to you to help you be accountable and to help you achieve it is to pick one thing that you are going to commit to in December to help your well-being. And I obviously put it in the chat box, but I'd really like you to put it on a post-it note, put it on a gift tag, and stick it somewhere that you're going to see it, so that you can be reminded all the way through December of what that one tiny priority was that's going to make you feel better. Stick it in your wallet, put it in the back of your phone case, look at it all the time. So what is your one tiny habit that you're going to take forward? Share in the chat box if you feel called. So we have got Bree. Oh, hang on, they're coming in thick and fast now. To naturally prioritize. Okay, so this parent is saying, I would naturally prioritize myself. However, I found that every time I do, something falls off. Okay, but that comes back to your boundaries, your bandwidth and balance. Was it yours to own in the first place? I don't know. I can't answer that. Have a think. Delegation is a lovely thing to do at this time of year. It may not be done the way that you would do it, but if it's done, it's done. Expressing honesty to the children how I'm feeling and when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Trying to take 10 minutes each day just for me. Love that. Someone's saying thank you. You're most welcome. Knowing it's okay to say how I'm feeling to the people around me. Absolutely, it's okay. Because what you're doing there is you're modeling that it's okay for them to be feeling those feelings. And feelings are normal. Feelings, the English, the Australians perhaps not so much, but the English are very good at let's put on a stiff upper lip, let's hide behind our feelings, or not hide behind our feelings, put on a face that's not there. No, please express your feelings, obviously age-appropriate ways that can be understood from your family members, but it's okay to have feelings. Breathe and take some time. Better consideration on boundaries, bandwidth, and balance. Saying no is okay. Absolutely and completely. To take 5 minutes for myself while the kettle is boiling. Excellent, because I imagine, other than me who doesn't drink hot drinks, most of you boil the kettle quite a few times in a day. So that is quite a few 5-minute moments that are going to build up just for you. 10 minutes a day to reconnect, and I'll add it to my daily reminders. Excellent. Setting boundaries with the kids and reminding them calmly when they step in. Love that. 10 minutes a day for my partner. Love that. Great. Telling the children how I'm feeling, and that would really help. And to be a role model to my children in a way I will not be exhausted. I love all of these. So thank you so much for your takeaways. I wish you a wonderful festive season where you can take some time for yourself. The clinic is back again in January. I believe I'm doing things around screen time in January. You'd be most welcome to join that again. You are also most welcome to pass on this recording to anybody you feel may benefit or need it, or perhaps it's a Christmas gift that you're passing on. A cheeky request from me: if you know anyone or any organisation, school, who might be looking for speakers for next 2026, then do send them my way, because my diary is open and I'm looking for opportunities to spread far and wide these messages of parenting and support and how to help you and your families. So thank you very much for your time today. Have a safe festive season, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2026.